my neighborhood, we are celebrating the wonderful things that our Speed Museum does, and we get a chance to see wonderful, wonderful work by William M. Duffy. He is here today, artist of Louisville's Black Avant Garde. We'll talk about that and find out what it is. Dr. Fari Nzinga is here, the curator of African and Native American collections at the Speed Art Museum. It is good to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
Good to be here.
And I'm going to let you know that they came here quickly. We asked them to come, so thank you. I appreciate that. Kind of on a last-minute thing. This is your second installment, William, right?
Yes. Well, first installment.
This is your first installment.
Yes, at the Speed.
So, Dr. Nzinga, talk about what you all do with the African and Native American collections and why they are so important at the Speed Museum.
Sure, thank you. So I have the privilege of curating those collections of art, and they're so important because they represent living cultures. A lot of times we're used to seeing European art as purely decorative, things that add value to a space. And in Native American and in African diasporic cultures, art is what you wear, it's how you do your hair, it's what you're using in your everyday life and in your surroundings. So it's a slightly different kind of approach to the idea of art, but it connects people so much more closely.
And just as important.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is really show that there are living cultures and groups of people who are creating art, who are doing things that are part of a longer legacy, and that's where Mr. Duffy fits in, because he is an artist from Louisville who has kind of received a lot of wisdom from generations that came before him, and who is a vessel of that, also mix in his own genius and creativity, and obviously a wonderful, wonderful teacher and resource in our community.
I was going to say, can I celebrate you first as a JCPS educator?
Sure.
Yeah, because that's a hard job.
Yes.
That is not a job.
No, it's
that is a calling.
It is a calling.
Everybody can't be a teacher.
Right. Now, mind you, I did after-school courses for years, for over 40 years, and I worked in middle school, elementary school, middle school, high school. I worked in community centers. I worked worked with JCC and U of L, and just a number of different places. So these were after school.
Y'all feel that?
Courses.
Y'all feel that wind? That's your angel's wings. That's what that is. Seriously, because that's a hard
Yes, it is.
job, and you have to have the right person, or it could not be.
That's good. I'm glad you said that.
Well, my daughter's a teacher.
Okay.
And when I go into that room, I walk out realizing that I'm grateful she's there, because you would not want me in that space. I couldn't do it. And I'm often, she looks at me and lets me know, you need to leave now, because I'm tearful. Children have different battles that you all do more than teach now. She says, when I come in, I got to make sure they're safe, got to make sure they're fed, got to make sure they, have somewhere to go. So when you do this work, tell me about this exhibition and how it came to be.
It's it covers about 51 or 52 years of work.
Wow.
So it's going from my art school days up until present day. Retrospective of sorts, and the work is of different in different areas, like my own personal work, work from working in the schools with kids and adults. Some is has been commissioned stuff, awards and stuff that I've done for different people, and so that's a whole conglomerate of things that I can do, because my foundation is in drawing. So anything that you can conceive in your mind, you can put on paper. You can do it in just about any material. And I always tell the kids, it's like, if you can work in sort of get as much as you can out of drawing, you can do any of this. But the foundation is drawing. It's being able to get that idea from your brain to your arm to your hand to that pencil that is making contact with the paper.
Well, we're looking at some of your art, and I asked this question, William, to both you and Dr. Nzinga. When visitors walk into that space, and I guess art means something different to everyone, but what do you want the visitor to see in that exhibition? Or I guess every visitor will take something away special for themselves, but I always want everyone to come in, including people like us, although some people just say, oh, art, you know, I don't get that, I don't understand that, or that's not a place for me. I wish we could break that, especially for those who just feel like they've not been invited in, when everybody is invited in, we're telling everybody to come in. What do you say to that?
Well, it's one of the reasons why we wanted to use our platform as, you know, Louisville's neighborhood museum, but also one of the more important institutions of art in this region, to lift up someone like William Duffy. And so this is our second installment of this series, and each exhibition in the series highlights an artist from Louisville, an African-American artist who was active between 1950 and 1980. And so we're hoping that people will recognize their neighbors, their friends, folks from their community. They'll recognize family members, and if nothing else, they'll recognize people who came from the same area or part of town, and they say, oh, okay, I didn't know that the West End had this many artists or had so many movers and shakers. And it really does, it's such a rich and fertile ground, and so we're really proud to be able to present that, not just to our local community, but also regionally, and to hopefully, you know, pump up the reputation of local artists more broadly as well.
All right, everybody I know knows Elmer Lucille Allen.
Yes.
Yeah, so we know that. Thank you. Louisville's Black Avant Garde. You all don't miss it. They're giving you the invitation. If you don't come, then it's because you're not coming. Now through September 29th, Speed Art Museum, you know where it is, 2035 South 3rd Street, Louisville. Again, William, I praise and thank you not only for the wonderful artist that you are, but what you've given to our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
All right, ulspeedmuseum.org. Check it out. They have so many things, and I hope you're not missing them.